My name is Joel Rivera. I am the Chief of Police for the Weslaco Police Department. I can say this. The Weslaco Police Department is investigating a case of invasive video recording involving this 17-year-old, Joseph Greg Trevino. He is a student at Weslaco High School. On February 10th, the Weslaco Police Department received a Crime Stoppers tip via the Weslaco Crime Stoppers P3 Tips app. And that's what that QR code, well, you can see a QR code here in a minute. And that's what that Crime Stoppers tip alleged: multiple inappropriate photographs or invasive visual recordings in possession of Mr. Trevino. I can say that a search warrant was executed on Trevino's cell phone and the criminal investigation is ongoing. A preliminary review of the digital forensic evidence shows individuals exposing their intimate areas, and intimate areas is the legal definition, some of those, not all of them, some of them are in a school setting, and it appears that it is without their knowledge or consent. On Tuesday, February 14th, this morning at about 8 a.m., Joseph Trevino surrendered himself to the Weslaco Police Department and was charged with invasive visual recording, and that is a state jail felony. The student was brought before Judge Samuel Sanchez here at the Weslaco Municipal Court and received a $15,000 cash surety bond. The Weslaco Police Department is working with the Weslaco Independent School District to continue its investigation, and there may be more charges that arise once we have identified victims and we uncover the extent of Trevino's actions. The Weslaco Police Department is asking the public, if anyone has information concerning this incident, to please come forward and report it by calling the Weslaco Police Department at 956-968-8591 or the Weslaco Crime Stoppers at 956-968-8477. They can also communicate with us anonymously through the Crime Stoppers P3 Tips app. All Crime Stoppers information that's received will remain anonymous. The Weslaco Police Department takes crimes against children seriously and is committed to ensuring the safety of the community. I'd like to thank the United States Marshal Service for the diligence on this matter, as well as the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which is a federal partner that we task with assistance for this matter. This case resides in the Weslaco Police Department. We are the investigative agency, but we've asked those agencies for support, and we will continue to ask agencies for whatever support they can give us as we deem necessary. At this point, I will take any questions, and then yes, I will do a statement in Spanish. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I do. Was this taken on a phone? Was it taken on a camera?
I can tell you we received it through the Crime Stoppers P3 Tips app.
Okay.
That's the way we received the tip. Is that your question?
So like the videos or the pictures, were they taken on a phone? Do you know if they were taken on a phone, camera?
That is part of the investigation that I'm not willing to disclose.
Okay.
We say in a school setting, is this like a locker room or like a restroom?
Yes.
Without them knowing?
Yes.
Both?
At this point, again, we've got to go through all the images and really, there's metadata within images, right? So every time we take a picture, there's metadata there that talks about GPS location, times, dates, things of that nature. So that's part of the forensic review. And so initially, upon preliminary inspection of those images, it looks like it's a school setting, yes, like a locker room or a restroom or something of that nature, right? So what is an intimate area? The law says an intimate area is naked or clothed genitals, pubic area, anus, buttocks, or female breasts. Question.
So you mentioned the victims. Have you guys identified any of the victims at this point, and have you notified any of them right now?
Okay, so I can tell you that we're in the investigative process. We've reached a point where we get probable cause to issue a search warrant, which we executed. And we've got probable cause to be able to issue an arrest warrant, which we've executed. He is currently in our custody. He's been arraigned, as you know, right? So as this investigation progresses, days, weeks, and even months, we will be going through the process of identification of victims. And we're gonna do our best we can with that, right? Obviously, these are images that are very sensitive in nature, and we've got to use investigatory discretion to be able to identify the victims. So we're gonna use every technique we can to be able to minimize the exposure. This is about respect. This is about, it was a gross violation of personal privacy. And so, you know, I'm here to give you guys this press conference because I'm compelled to tell the community what's happening. But, you know, I've got to balance this with the privacy of the victims. So to answer your question, not at this point. We will be going through the process of going photograph by photograph by photograph and attempting to do so.
And how long could that process take to?
Days, weeks, months, as long as it takes, we will not relent. We will be diligent in our work.
In your investigation, are we seeing that it's just female victims or is it just students in general?
That is part of the investigation that I am not willing to just yet discuss. Disclose that information just yet.
How soon was the school district notified about this accident?
The school district was given notification, so we got this tip Friday. By Friday afternoon, we had investigators working on it. It was after the school day that I visited with the superintendent and gave him verbal notice that this student needed to be excluded from school pending the outcome of the investigation, right? And so he was, I'll let the district talk to you about their processes, but that was my request. I identified them, I notified them after the school day on Friday, because that's when we got to the point where I was compelled to give them notification. Now, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, there was no classes. And he was prohibited from entering the premises. He was taken into custody Tuesday morning, 8 a.m.
Can you talk a little bit about what the tip said? Like, did it mention like, hey, I think someone took pictures? Like, I guess like what led you to believe, okay, this student, we need to confiscate?
It was expressed that the accused here was in possession of child pornography. Do you care to say anything about this man's question here, Dr. Dre?
We were informed Friday, and school was out by that time. So we talked to the principal and told the principal not to allow this kid to be in any extracurricular activity on Friday night, or on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So we took action immediately.
Now, understand that the disclosure to the school district was just of an ongoing criminal investigation. I did, at no time did I give the district notification of the criminal charges. So I wasn't at that point where I could disclose what exactly was going on. I just knew that I needed to give them notification. And that's what I did verbally Friday. I gave them official notification today about everything what was going on. As much as you guys know today, they were told this morning, and they took immediate action. Any other questions?
So this morning I informed our board, our school board, I informed our staff and the community and our parents.
Another one. What should students look out for as far as this, like, going forward?
You know, the students know what privacy is and what privacy matters, right? Personal privacy is a very personal thing. But again, you know, cell phone camera use in locker rooms and restrooms and things like that, you know, that should already raise concern, right? And so when they see students see something, say something. We have SROs at every high school and every middle school. That is their opportunity to say something. They can always address it with the administration. There, we take these claims very seriously and we investigate them thoroughly.
And then is there anything that people should do if they feel like they were one of these victims? Is there anywhere that they should go? Who should they talk to?
So again, if they feel that they were a victim or they have information concerning that, they can call the Weslaco Police Department at 956-968-8591. If they wish to remain anonymous, they can call the Weslaco Crime Stoppers at 956-968-8477, or they can use the P3 Tips app and they can communicate with us directly. Now, calling the phone number, that tip comes in, the information comes in, and we have no way of communicating. If they use the P3 Tips app, then we can communicate anonymously. We don't know who's on the other end of that app, but we can ask questions. You know, what was the color of the car? What shirt was he wearing? You know, we can ask questions and we can communicate with them anonymously. That's the power of the P3 Tips app. Okay, that's all the questions I'm gonna take at this point. I think the questions are getting a little redundant, but I would like to speak, I would like to give a Spanish statement, so.
Let me just say this, Chief. Let me just say on students,
Sir, can you step to the podium
Yes.
for,
on students, if after this happens, like tomorrow, sometime this week, if they feel that they have been a victim of this individual, they should come forward and talk to the principal, and we will follow up.